Good morning. This is Danny Vance coming at you from KVIC. This morning we have Don Page with us. Mr. Page, tell us a little bit about your tiny house projects. I understand this is like your fifth one you built and in the process of finishing that up and even through the COVID, and kind of tell us a little bit about your experience.
Well, it's really been an experience with COVID going on. The only thing we like right now is our flooring in the den and bedroom and building the bed and putting the roof on, which we pull it outside and put the roof on. But man, we've had a real good year. Have had a bunch of great kids working on it this year. We just got along real good with it.
Tell us a little bit about your layout you chose to go with this year.
Well, it's a lot the same as it was last year. We've got a bedroom downstairs with a loft above it, and we've got a raised floor for the kitchen. The only difference is we put the bathroom is in the back of it this year instead of on the side. I can kind of give you a view of it.
Well, it looks great. Yeah, that moving that bathroom gave you a little more open feel to what you had last year, didn't it?
Yes, it did. And it gives you a little more room in the kitchen too.
Yeah, looks good.
Well, now I was looking at the bathroom, and I noticed whenever Danny and I came over to visit about the tile and all of the tile work. What do the kids think about learning how to do that kind of work?
Oh, they really enjoyed it. I actually had a couple of girls that did the tile work in the kitchen, and I like to never got them started, but once I did, they fought over who got to do it the most. So that turned out real good. I did the grouting. They did a good job too.
So are they looking forward to coming back and working on the next year's tiny house?
I think so.
So you got 3 good ones. Well, now, so talking about the grade span of your students that worked on the tiny houses, what grade span did you have?
Well, it's freshmen through seniors. It's mostly freshmen and seniors. I have a few sophomores and juniors, but most of these kids take my intro class as freshmen, and then they take the 3-hour block as seniors. But there's some sophomores and juniors scattered through that maybe didn't get to take it as freshmen. But I've got all the grades. Had some great kids this year too.
I bet you have students sign up for your class then as a freshman because of that tiny house project. Would you say so?
Oh, I'd say a lot of them do.
Yeah. Anxious to work on it.
At the start of this year, I had 18, 19, 20 kids in every class.
Wow.
Of course, going virtual, stopped some of that. But yeah, they fill me up.
That's good.
Well, how did that impact you with going virtual? I mean, with the kids and with your program?
Well, it made it tough. I mean, doing these tests and stuff virtual, and my age, I'm not a real virtual kind of guy. This is new to me, just doing this. But we managed. The stuff we have to do out in the shop is, of course, impossible to do online. Well, maybe not impossible, but it's tough to be able to, especially safety-wise. I'd much rather have them in here myself.
Hard to build a tiny house virtual, isn't it?
Yeah, real tough.
But you've done it looks like you've succeeded, and very near completion, looks like, on your tiny house.
Oh yeah, I had a lot of kids come in. When we were virtual, I still have a lot of kids coming in. Half a dozen kids were coming in every day, just about. Of course, we got to have them for 2 kids for 2 hours, and I just about have a day filled up with them. Back when we were all virtual.
Well, it just shows, given the opportunity with a project like this, kids that have the option to come to school or stay home virtual and they choose to come to school, it shows. It shows what a good job you're doing with those kids with this tiny house project. Appreciate
the tiny
that.
house makes a huge difference.
Yeah,
it really does. It really, kids take a lot of pride in it and enjoy coming in here and doing it.
Good.
That was one of the things that Danny and I noticed when we came over to visit with you, was the number of kids that you had there on that day. And, you know, some of the others didn't have that, didn't have that kind of participation with their students. And so, what would you think makes your students want to come?
Well, they like working on this tiny house. I mean, it's all about this tiny house. They enjoy it, take a lot of pride in it. They learn so much doing it. They, you know, with the electrical, I don't teach electrical or plumbing, but you know, they get to learn a lot about it.
Having that exposure on a project like that from start to finish, the whole build, top to bottom, is just fantastic for those kids.
Sure. Framing, finishing, roofing, siding, they get to do just about the whole process of building a house.
Right. And like you said, then that added exposure to areas that they wouldn't normally see in your class. In other words, if you weren't building this tiny house, they may not see much electrical work or plumbing being done or heating and air conditioning. But by this project, they get exposed to that, and who knows, it may spark an interest in one of those kids to want to make a career out of that someday. So it's
exactly. I've got several kids that are out there working in the construction industry now.
Yeah.
I got one kid doing roofing every day. I see him on Facebook from 2 years ago.
That's great.
Got several of them out working.
That speaks well of you and what you're teaching those kids, having that program and all of them learning a skill. So that's great.
Absolutely.
I really enjoy it. I really do.
And
this isn't work to me. I'm having fun.
Your finished product shows that too. I mean, that last home we sold was a high selling home that we'd ever sold. And then this one I expect will be the same thing. Your finished work's amazing in that tiny house, and the way you detail it and mix the colors and then actually decorate it at the end really puts a touch on those tiny houses. I'm glad that you give those kids the opportunity to be involved in that.
Yeah, the freshman girls that did the tile work, they're really excited about getting in here and decorating.
I bet you'll have tile in every one for the next 3 years, won't you?
Yeah, I'm sure we will.
Well, we just want to say that how proud we are of you and your program at Phelps, and how proud we are of those kids. And we look forward to the next tiny house that will be built in the next school year. So I know that they're always different, and they're just it's a real quality program that you have there at Phelps. And so,
well, thank you very much. We've got great
kids. To the community. You do have great kids, and they have a wonderful instructor.
Absolutely.
Well, thank you.